Joining us now is Texas Democratic Congresswoman Julie Johnson, who serves on the Foreign Affairs and Homeland Security committees. And I want to talk to you, Congresswoman, about this Russia stuff. But first, I need you to react to Senator Cassidy. Can you see the appeal of what he's talking about here in individual accounts rather than direct subsidies that go to insurance companies?
Well, I appreciate Senator Cassidy's attempt to try to solve the ACA, but through a health savings account mechanism, I don't think is a realistic application. Millions of Americans don't have health savings accounts. Health savings accounts are typically genesis from employees who work for large employers, and the ACA really targets small businesses and people who work for themselves, and they don't have that ACA framework. And I agree with one of the questions that you asked him about, don't you think people won't spend it and won't use it for health insurance? I mean, it's a laudable attempt. We want to encourage people to try to come up with solutions to healthcare affordability, but just redirecting payments into a health savings account does nothing to bring down the cost of health insurance.
Okay, so let's talk about that bipartisan proposal for an Obamacare subsidy patch. It's from a group of moderates, includes Don Bacon, Tom Suozzi. The rough outline, we understand, is a 2-year extension of the subsidies with restrictions for those making more than $200,000. Is that something that you'd like to get in on?
Absolutely. You know, I think that plan is a great plan for now. You know, it gives time to really have a thoughtful conversation as a nation on how we move forward in healthcare. It gives a 2-year extension, and it does, I think, address some of the concerns about, you know, the caps. And so it does bring down the income levels as to who would be eligible for the subsidies, and I think it's a great start.
Okay. Discharge petitions. They are all the rage these days, and in the wake of the Epstein files, there's a push on to force a vote about imposing sanctions on Russia. That's more urgent now that the administration is trying to get the Ukrainians to give in and make a deal with Vladimir Putin and do it by Thanksgiving. Are you interested in signing on to that petition? And if you are, does that really have a chance?
Well, I think, you know, the use of a discharge petition is a very valuable tool in the U.S. House. It is a mechanism by which the majority, the representatives of the people, can force votes on key issues. We saw it successfully utilized in Epstein, and now the Ukraine. I haven't read the text of the Ukraine discharge petition, but I think it's an important vehicle for us to force House leadership to bring resolutions and votes on key issues that matter to the American people to the floor of the House. And so, you know, I know there's been some back and forth on should they restrict the use of discharge petitions, should they elevate the threshold by which they could be passed, and I would be very much opposed to that. Right now, if a majority of the House wants to bring an issue to the floor to a vote and circumvent leadership, then we should be able to do that. And Speaker Johnson has done nothing but be a puppet for Trump, cover him up, enable the White House to suppress votes on key issues that the people of America really want voted on. And so I'm 100% on making sure that we maintain the current threshold for discharge petitions. As far as Ukraine, I think it's an issue of key national importance to the American people. And if the discharge petition in the language is right, then I would certainly consider signing on to it.